Hey folks, Man Rabbit here, back to you with another Minecraft, I guess I call it Esper. I forgot what the name of it was, but still trying to finalize the correct name for this series. But yeah, so I came back to give you a little update on what I've been doing since the last episode. This is the actual world, so we're not in the old world now. And as you can see there, I'm doing a mountain in the background. Being majorly slowed down by the fact that MCEdit's topsoil tool is not working quite as well. Actually, it's not working at all. It hasn't worked for several updated versions, so I'm not quite sure what's up with that. Um, so I had to go back to the method I was using, if you may remember, many episodes back um, in my old medieval Minecraft creation series, where I explained it. Um, Basically, making a layer of sand, kind of knocking it down on top of the mountains after I make them. Um, yeah, it's a big long process. I might show that on air someday, but it's kind of not. I'm not able to do it in editor. As you see here, I'm showing a house. Um, so this is what I've sort of what I've been working on, doing the houses, renaming some of the files and whatnot from my old MCEdit schematics from stuff that we built last season um, in the previous world. And this is all pretty simple. I mean, all you have to really just lose look at it, and you can build this yourself if you want. Um, but like I said, this is not really a tutorial series anymore. This one at least isn't. I did 120 episodes of, or actually 130 episodes of tutorials in the other series. So go back to those if you want tutorials. But this I'm just sort of documenting my progress as I go along with this sort of a huge super project in Minecraft, which is actually going to dwarf the project that we did last time. The 120 episodes of the Bluestone world is going to be very small compared to this, so believe me. And in this episode, yeah, basically as I build these houses, I build this one, I copy it, which you'll see here in a minute. I use some of these new textures for the roof colors because I want the cities each to have their own kind of feel to them, which is sort of the reason why I was doing the whole thing with I want different colored roofs like blues and reds and whatnot. I guess it's sort of getting a little influence from World of Warcraft because I remember the city in there, Stormwind, is sort of like that. So you see here, I copied the exact same house. Just basically changed out the roofs to the ones I was to the one I was showing you last episode, the textures. And then I do some design here on the insides, trying to make each one different, and even making a cellar. That's why I was, and actually just a little loft up on top where where you're gonna sleep. Um, yeah, so just watch the last episode if you're wondering about the texture pack information, which so it's a custom one based off of the Dokucraft one, which I didn't have any hand at all in making. I just basically adjusted some things in that particular texture pack, which I might do some more adjustments as I go along. I'm not sure I like the grass texture. The more I'm looking at it, I don't like the design on it. So this is sort of like the living room, well, kind of like the living room, kitchen, dining room area of a small house. And this particular one looks pretty good. Different bedrooms up there. Each one's slightly a little different. Hoping to change things up in most of these things, even if I'm gonna do similar buildings, it's just gonna be a lot of things changed. One thing I did change was the art pack. Some of the pictures you see on the wall were not actually from Dokucraft. They were from the John Smith texture pack, which I found out in a lot of these texture pictures not being updated anymore. These medieval ones, I had links for a bunch of them, and I was gonna look into them, but a lot of them weren't updated. The fans made like a fan-made update for 1.5 because, as you know, the file formats changed with 1.5 for the texture packs, so that it would have been tedious to make it on my own. Or I should say convert on my own. So this looks like a nice little area here. I did like the art pack for John Smith a lot more than Dokucraft's default pictures. So each seller even I designed a little bit differently. So it might give you some ideas if you're doing things of your own. And so the rest of the footage here, next minute or so, is just me coming up with the dimensions of the outer dimensions of what this map's going to be. I had originally said it was going to be like 25,000 off east-west, and then that's how many blocks if you're looking at some of those stats up there. But I decided to make it a little bit smaller. It ended up being 12,000 kind of east-west dimensions, and north-south is 18,000 blocks. So might be a little more manageable for me, but I don't know. That still might be too big. So I think the next episode we're gonna hopefully maybe I'll show you the actual hand-drawn map I did. But yeah, I'm most likely I don't know if I'm gonna be able to that'll really come across real well in here. But I want to show the process of me trying to come up with the drawing the coastline based off my map, which is going to be all based off of coordinates as you're seeing there. When you press the F3 button, the coordinates thing comes up. So here, I basically just flew for, until I reached the point where the X and the Z stats were at the dimensions I wanted. Its spawn point always starts at 0, 0 for those. As you can see here, this one here, 18,000 it's the northeast corner. So it was just a big long process. It took hours to do this, and that's just the outer edge. I still have to render in all the material in between, which will be like thousands of hours, which I don't think I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of just work on this world as I go. So I think eventually, maybe years later, this might eventually all get rendered in the stuff in between all these outer borders, but these are the outer borders of it. So at least these are the dimensions I'm choosing now. As I start making this coastline, we'll see exactly how things look. I start placing cities and stuff and mountain ranges. If it looks like it's just going to be a little bit too small for me, I might extend it. If it's too big, I might shrink it again. But that's about it, folks. I will hopefully come back soon with another update. See you soon.